money in the bank. Coming with a dank, skrilling in a tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com on this Valentine's Day. I am Spencer Raxter, joined by Lukas Klotz on the desk for the first time. You might know him. You've seen him in the chair. He's the social media head for Woodward Sports and all of the things we do. Welcome.
I appreciate you guys having me. We'll step up today, but I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Don't fuck up.
Try not to. Try to go flawless.
Appreciate you. And, of course, as always, we have Chris Platty in the TD booth, JB Smooth on the ones and twos, and we're also joined by Booner in the Maz chair. The Booth. Thank you for joining us as well. More of a veteran to this setup, to this style of show. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm in like the Maz Jr. here.
You are, yeah.
I'm feeling Maz Jr.
Fresh out. You still got Maz's ass warmth in that seat.
I feel
still.
it.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
A little bit of juice or something.
Probably drilling some farts into that seat before he got up.
Oh, yeah. Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day farts. Yeah, and we do have a big show for ahead of you guys. A lot of funny Valentine's Day themed topics, but first things first, we got to get down into what happened last night at Michigan State's campus, where there was an active shooter going around, and it resulted in the death of 3 students and 5 more in critical condition in the hospitals in East Lansing. And it's just a terrible situation for all involved, a terrible situation for the community, the students, the city of East Lansing, and everything going on there. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families of those who lost loved ones, those who lost children, those who lost friends in the situation. These things never get easier, and it seems like they just continue to happen, and it's all in all just a terrible situation that was eventually put to rest. And the police officers and everyone and first responders that handled this chaotic situation quickly and promptly, hats off to you. It's a tough situation to go into, a tough situation to deal with, a lot of scared kids, a lot of scared family members, a lot of different things, moving parts, just a chaotic situation altogether. And it hits home a little bit to me because I attended Michigan State University. I graduated from Michigan State University. I had a lot of classes at Berkey Hall. I spent a lot of time in the student union, so I'm familiar with those areas very much. I have a lot of friends still in East Lansing. I contacted them last night, and they're all safe. They were all out of the situation. So, again, just thoughts and prayers for the families that were involved in this, the students, the faculty, and East Lansing and MSU community as a whole. We never know when something like this will pop up. It's always scary when it does, and it's just a terrible situation that should never happen. But it seems to consistently happen in our country, and something that needs to be addressed for sure. It's just awful altogether. And I wanted to take center stage on this because as an MSU alumni, as someone who's been there for multiple different things that happened, I saw something come up, a New York Times article written by Tiffany May, glossing over the situation that happened last night where 3 students lost their lives in tragic events, and bringing up the Larry Nassar situation that I was attending school for. I was there when it happened. I was there when it broke. I was part of the state news when it happened. And comparing situations, contrasting different things, using one to prop up your article to get more clicks, to get more engagement, because you're putting up a Larry Nassar situation when 3 students lost their lives in tragic events that happened last night, is absolutely despicable. It is the worst kind of journalism, and Tiffany May, respectfully, fuck you. That is awful. You should have no confidence in your writing. You should have no faith in what you put out there being a credible news realtor as the New York Times. Fuck you for publishing that. Fuck you for writing that. You should feel awful about yourself. You owe apologies to all of the families involved, to the MSU community, to the students that were running for their lives last night because you wanted to put something in the news that would grab the eyes of people, because you wanted to compare it to something that was out there years ago. All due respect, you're a piece of shit, and you don't deserve the platform that you were given. You don't deserve the rights that you were out there spewing this to a reeling community, to a community that was in shambles. Like I said, 3 students died, 5 more injured, and you're out here putting stuff like that for the world to see from a major publication It's disgusting. It's immoral, and you should feel terrible about yourself. I don't want to speak out anymore because I'll get really pissed off because it makes me think of when they put different things like that during that situation, when they put up Mark D'Antonio and Tom Izzo in the same pictures with him, with that piece of shit that nobody talks about and that got his name dragged through the mud, rightfully so. But to use that to pump up your own article in response to a tragic situation that shook a community to its core, it's a low-ball move. It's a piece of shit move, and you should feel ashamed of yourself.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, it needed to happen. I mean, it's obviously, you can never, like you said, you can't ever prep for a situation like that. So I think it's inevitable to happen in some spots. Obviously, there's idiots out there. So the main thing is just appreciate every day you have and just be observant times 1,000, especially out here these days in public places. People are bored all day. They're going to be sad. They're going to be mad. And at some point, some people are just going to snap and find a way to do something about it. So you just got to make sure you protect yourself, however that be, and just make sure you tell your loved ones you love them every day.
Yeah.
You never know.
For sure. It's something happens like this far too often in communities around the country.
Yeah, and I mean, thoughts and prayers to, everyone affected. It's like, it's terrible, especially with last year with the Oxford situation, like all of that. But like you said, the article that was published, there's no space for that or room for that in the world.
No.
There's so much hate in the world to where you just don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like trying to take advantage of, people that have, lost loved ones, people who have died, that is not what you want to do. That's just bottom of the barrel stuff.
Yes.
That's something that there's so much hate in this world, and just to add on to that in the public light to try and just build up your own name that's one of the worst things and worst. Just a bad person to do something like that. That's terrible.
And the Spartan community is strong. The Spartan community is resilient. It's going to take time to recover from this. It's going to take time to move forward with their everyday lives of going to school, of going to class, of working their jobs on campus, doing different things. And again, just thoughts and prayers to the families of those who lost loved ones, to the friends of those students, to everyone that this affected. It is a complete travesty, just a horrific series of events. And my heart goes out to those that are dealing with this and those that are struggling with different things. Luckily, Michigan State has a great support system for those who need help, those who need someone to talk to, those who feel like they don't know what's going on last night, or they don't know how to feel about what's going on last night. Reach out to Michigan State. There's a lot of people there that are willing and that will help. So obviously things will never feel normal on campus. This is something that should never happen. And thoughts to my fellow Spartans. I love you all. I understand that it's going to take some time, but like I said, there's a great support system in place at Michigan State University, and they'll be there for you if you need it. You'll always have someone to talk to at Michigan State. There are a lot of different things going on there that you can reach out to someone if you feel the need to expand on the topic, you feel like you need someone to talk to about it. Michigan State has a lot of different outreach areas where you can go and you can get some help and you can have someone to talk to. I feel thankful for different things that I went through. When I was at MSU, I did not have an easy road. Obviously nothing of this level, of this caliber, but there were things I struggled with. There were situations that I was put in that I saw I had to save lives realistically, and I literally had pulled the knife off of someone's neck before, and there are things that stick with you. But Michigan State does a great job of helping those who need someone to talk to, of being there for people, and obviously this situation is infinitely worse than anything I had to deal with, of stupid things I did on my own or situations that I put myself into. And everyone out there that needs someone all of Spartan Nation is here for you. We love you, and take all the time you need, because this is something that no one knows how to deal with when it's presented to you. I've never been in a situation of this magnitude, but like I said, there are a lot of resources available to you if you feel like you need someone to talk to, if you feel like you need someone to vent to because you're not sure how to cope with the situations that happened last night.
Well, yeah, well said. Like you said, you can't ever prep for that, and there's no way that you can truly emotionally recover from any of it either. So I know somebody in the chat said that one of their good friends knew somebody that was involved last night, so I hope your friend's family's doing well. Our prayers are sending out to him for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's a tough situation to come back from, and there's not really much you could talk about, but we don't want to dwell on it too much, as there's still so much going on, and families are still grieving. But our thoughts and prayers go out to them. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the families, the community, everything going on, and Spartans will stand together. They'll always be there for you. So just don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody if you need it, because you never know how much of a difference that can make. If you're dealing with something from these events that, like I said, you feel like you can't cope, you don't know about the emotions, you're scared, rightfully so. These are horrific times. It's a terrible situation to put young adults in 18 to 23-year-old kids in and expect them to just go past it and go back to their everyday lives. It's not reasonable. So don't be afraid to reach out to somebody, anyone, whether it be a loved one, whether it be a friend, a roommate, or a faculty member, or someone in that assistance program at Michigan State. There are a lot of people that are willing to talk, willing to be there for you, and you never know how much of a difference talking to someone can make. So you're not in this alone. You have a huge plethora of alumni, faculty, students together that reach out to someone, and they'll be here for you in these times. So that's what I just wanted to state that, because like I said, it does hit home to me, because Michigan State was my home for many years. East Lansing is one of my favorite cities in the world. I love that place with all my heart, and it breaks my heart to see a situation happen like that, and to see so many lives lost and so many more scarred for
senseless acts.
Forever, for senseless acts that should never happen. And I don't know what else to say about it.
Well, no, I mean, you did a great job, man. I mean, you obviously went to Michigan State. I have no correlation there, so I'm glad somebody who truly understands what it means to be a Michigan State Spartan can reflect on the regular day people, not saying like they were different or everything, but we don't experience Michigan State. We don't know what it's like. We don't know the family, the community that's there. So to see somebody who went there kind of like get this emotional about it truly shows you what type of campus it is. So it's just a sad event, but like you said, the days are going to get better. It's going to take time, but you can't let events like this hold you back, because you're just going to stay in the past at the end of the day, and that's exactly what that person wants. The people who are affected, that's what they want to happen, so you just can't let it happen. You just got to keep going, as hard as it might be.
And at the end of the day, it's, again, I can't say it enough, thoughts and prayers to the families of those lost, of those still dealing with injuries in the hospital. Spartan strong, Spartans will. Go green, go white. I love you all. And we'll be right back after I tell you about Custom Health Centers, because Custom Health Centers can help you lose some weight if you need to. They helped our very own Ryan Ermanni. He got in there, he got their help, and he lost upwards of 20 pounds. You can do the same. Just call them at 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-8446. Call Custom Health Centers today and let them help you.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. I'm Spencer Exter. He is Lukas Klotz. We have Chris Platty in the TD booth, JB Smooth on the ones and twos, and Booner in the Maz chair. I am going to try to contain my emotions and pivot to our regularly scheduled programming, but it's tough after a situation like that. But we have to do it. We have to.
We'll keep it going.
Have to do it. Yep. This is what I get paid to do. So I appreciate having the platform to share some of my thoughts on the situation. But now we need to talk about the Detroit Lions and the Detroit Lions potentially losing a coach that hasn't even gotten in town yet.
It's crazy.
Not even here yet. Scottie Montgomery, Chris, if you have the graphic.
Yeah.
Scottie Montgomery was hired as the new assistant head coach to the Detroit Lions and the running backs coach. But just like every other Valentine's Day in my life, once I get a new girl, she's doing something on the side. And he is flirting with the Buccaneers as he is interviewed for the OC job in Tampa Bay. So I don't know if this is something to be happy about because it means he is a wanted commodity. This is a guy that's obviously getting interviews for offensive coordinator jobs, which is, there's only 32 of those in the world. So it's something good to say about what he brought to the table and how they went out and got him because he is a wanted commodity. But man, this guy hasn't even unpacked his bags yet in Detroit, and he already might be on the road. How do you feel about it?
I mean, it's incredibly ironic because I think when Scottie Montgomery got hired, I think a lot of Lions fans are kind of like, well, who the hell is this guy? And then you start looking to his resume, and now you can kind of see why the Lions hired him in the first place and why all these other NFL teams truly want him, because he was a head coach at Eastern Carolina, and previously he was the wide receiver coach for the Steelers, where he coached Antoine Randall, especially, which is the big one for the Lions, Antonio Brown, Mike Wallace, all those key playmakers they had on the outside. He coached them, and then you go to Eastern Carolina, he has success. Go to North Carolina, he has success. When he's in Indianapolis, he's coaching Jonathan Taylor, and he had last year the best season for a running back.
Yeah.
So I think he's not a big name, but when you start looking at it, you realize why he's a big commodity.
He's got a track record.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a track record of success and things he's done well, and you listed quite a few of them. He is very versatile in what he can do for a coaching staff. Booner, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know that you said he didn't even unpack his bags. I don't even know if he packed his bags to come to Detroit yet. It's crazy. It is interesting, though, because to be honest, I don't think they've interviewed 6, 7, 8 guys, it feels like, already in Tampa. So I don't know if he's going to get that job. But the thing I took out of it is it shows that there's another offensive coordinator talent inside of our staff. When we look ahead, all right, Ben Johnson might only be here for one more year. We have him sitting there ready to go to where we don't even have to go out and get anyone. We already know he's interviewed for this job. He knows, he has what it takes. But it's interesting. He got here, and all of a sudden he's got an interview right away. I think they're just doing their due diligence. Tampa is, and I think it just shows more that Dan Campbell can find those guys. Yeah, and he's found them, and it gets me pumped for the season. It really does.
It does. I like that take as well because I looked at it when, the fear of losing Ben Johnson was there when he was having interviews and doing legitimate things before he eventually withdrew his name from runnings in multiple positions. I obviously was worried because of what he did for the team and what he built in this offense, but I had faith that this coaching staff, that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, could go out there and find a guy, find the right guy, find someone who could replace Ben Johnson. And this is somewhat of an adage to that, is that they go out and get guys that other people want. They go out and get guys that other people recognize as football minds, as people they'd like in higher positions. And yeah, it does suck that I was excited to see what he could do with the running backs after the work he did with Jonathan Taylor and things like that. And I also saw this as somewhat of a guy that could possibly replace Ben Johnson if he decided to go on to a head coaching position next season. But we'll see what goes on. Hopefully Tampa doesn't sign him as their offensive coordinator, and he'll be for the Lions coach for a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, besides the weather, why go to Tampa over Detroit, especially right now, how both teams are shaping up. The NFC North is not getting anything better for the other teams in there. And the NFC South, if you go to Tampa Bay, you're going to be in cap hell for one. You don't have a quarterback, so it's just going to be such more of a project. And like you were saying, Ben Johnson is probably going to be out in the next year or two. So if Ben Johnson leaves, you are the next man up if you do your job properly, which if he stays, I have no doubt about it, just because all the praise he's getting from around the league. So it's exciting because normally I think as Lions fans, we're usually stealing the guys that we're hoping to work, and now we're going out and getting the guys that we know will work. So I think just another aspect of how times are different as Lions fans. Yeah. So I'm excited.
It's definitely a good aspect to it, and hopefully we could see some success that'll bring, because it's something that I was excited for, like I said, but we'll see what goes on with the hiring process. JB, how do you feel about this?
You know what? We just can't have nice things. You know? And it really sucks because I'll tell you right now, I don't think anyone was really looking at Scottie Montgomery coming off of this past season. But as soon as the Lions get their hands on him and get a guy that they want, it's like now everyone comes to try and pull the Lions back down. No one wants to see the Detroit Lions actually get better, improve, and be good. That's why you've got people, vultures, that's coming in to steal and pick off as many coaching candidates as they can. This is the 9th interview the Bucs are having for an offensive coordinator. The 9th.
Yeah, that's
the 9th
pretty
candidate
wild.
for someone. Like, come on.
That's pretty wild. We'll see what goes on in Tampa Bay, but it sounds like they're flirting around with a lot of different people.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, like, is Tampa seriously about, like, it's interesting, too, because, like, before he got hired here in Detroit, how many of us, like, and even in the chat, like, how many of we all knew who he was, like, in depth? And now we're looking at it, and he's getting an OC interview right off the bat. It, like I said, I'll just keep saying, it makes me excited because Dan Campbell just keeps finding these guys. And I saw in the chat someone said he found Lynn as well, but, like, he's found more guys than he hasn't. Like, this is exciting that we have another basically OC on our staff to work with Ben Johnson, to work with this young core. And as soon as Ben Johnson's gone, he's that next man up. He's been there for a year. He knows. Like, if I'm him, I would way rather be in Detroit and take that OC job next year than I would Tampa this year.
That's what I'm saying.
I would way rather have that.
You think that's a better situation?
100%. Because right now, Tampa's kind of like, they don't, like Lukas said, they don't really have a quarterback. Trask right now, they might get like Anthony Richardson. Like, they're up in the air on who they can get. There's no guarantee.
Derek Carr.
He's going to the Saints.
They do have a solid. They have a solid roster. Like, they have a Super Bowl roster from a couple years ago. A lot of those guys are still there. But when you're looking at, like, the trajectory of each franchise, I'm licking my lips to come to Detroit if I'm him. If I have to wait a year to get the OC job, I personally would do that.
Yeah, especially like in Tampa Bay. Like I said, they're in cap hell, and the roster is nice now, but in 3-4 years, Chris Godwin out of prime, Mike Evans out of prime. All the front seven, Levante Davis is going to be retired. Truly, the things that they're holding on to are going to be like Rashad White, Devin White, Antoine Winfield, who they're going to have to let go. So I think in 3-4 years, Tampa's going to be right back where they were in the Josh Freeman days, the Glory days, the Doug Martin days. In Detroit, we're going to have a new team.
Josh Freeman.
Yeah. So washed.
I agree, so washed. Just terrible. But I agree. I do think Detroit is more attractive of a position, but if you get the opportunity to be offensive coordinator over running backs coach, you got to take it.
But, okay, so the situation like when Ben Johnson was going to go get a head coaching job and he decided to come back, I kind of look at it to where he can go get a head coaching job and it might not be a good situation and it doesn't set him up to win and, to build his head coaching career up. Same thing I feel like with the OC position. Like, he can take this opportunity. It's cool and all. He's going to have that opportunity again. Like, that's inevitable. Make sure, he needs to make sure he takes the right one. I think the Lions would be the right one to, for his future. Like, he wants to have success so he can become a head coach. If he goes to Tampa and it's just a struggling franchise, like, Tom Brady's gone, you know what I mean? Like, you want to set your future up.
That's
Kyle
for sure.
Trask.
Kyle Trask. Maybe he's the golden boy.
Absolutely.
You got no faith in Cal Trask?
Oh my God. Especially like what did they do offensively this year to make you be like, oh, wait till Trask gets in his offense and Brady's out. Like, no.
Who do you have more faith in, Kyle Trask or Jordan Love?
Oh,
I'm going trash just for the plain fact.
I'm going Jordan Love.
You going Jordan Love?
Yeah, I'm kind of scared of Jordan Love.
You're scared of Jordan Love?
I mean, what? I'm not even scared of
Jordan Love.
You have to hear me out. These Packers quarterbacks, it's just like you think, oh, there's nothing to it, and then the first year they start, second year they start, they just comes out of nowhere and just punches you right in the,
I think when you have a quarterback like Brett Favre, Hall of Famer,
yes,
and then they struck gold twice with Aaron Rodgers, and now they're mining with like copper.
Until
they got nothing.
They got Christian Watson. I'm going to be scared of that next guy.
You think they would have signed Aaron Rodgers to that fat of a contract, knowing he was a total shit show if they had faith in Jordan Love?
Do you think they would be going through the situation with Rodgers now?
If Aaron Rodgers,
nobody knows what situation Rodgers is going through now. He's in a fucking dark cave for himself. Yeah.
And the other thing that told me everything I needed to know was Alan Lazard after the Lions game. He's like, there ain't no way in hell I'm coming back here. It's like if Jordan Love was a dog, Alan Lazard's practically the number one wide receiver. He's probably going to be getting fed next year, but he knows with Jordan Love, the Detroit Lions running the North, with the Vikings, the fucking Bears are the Bears. So Lions all the way. Jordan Love ain't shit. Christian Watson's good. That's about it.
So you guys might see me doing some awkward movements because this isn't a transition to an ad read. I just had to say I got my black card.
Beep this up. And we're talking about the Planet Fitness black card.
I've hit the gym a couple days. Yeah.
I was wondering what was going on.
My arms, dude. I can't. Like, I washed my hair this morning. It was one of the hardest experiences of my life.
You don't have to do that if you cut it.
I did cut it.
No, I'm saying you cut it. You get the calci going on?
Cut it.
You need to cut it.
I just had to say, because, like, literally, if I, like, try to scratch my face, I have to do something so weird and push my hair back to the side. I have to go from the other hand. It's terrible.
The hair looks good, though.
Yeah, but it's a good hurt. Like, you wake up and you're like, I'm proud of myself. I did something yesterday.
I hit 10 miles on the bike and then hit shoulders and... I'm dying. I'm not going to lie.
Not in the gym. Get in the gym, everybody.
I know. 2 days in a row, I went equally as hard. It's all right.
Leg day? Is that coming out? No legs?
Legs? I got the bike for legs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, fair.
Yeah,
and the
4 miles per hour on the treadmill.
Yeah, exactly.
Little incline.
That's what it's all about. But we'll be right back with some more. Like I said, we got some a couple nice Valentine's type topics coming up that I think some of you guys will like to hear. But first, let me tell you about Guardian Alarm. Because it's a new year, so let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
We miss you, Easy.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweight live on WoodwardSports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Lukas Klotz. You guys know Chris and JB, and then we got Booner in the Maz chair. So I do want to take a second to talk about what's going on in the chat right now. Booner commented, he said, Spenny versus Michael Phelps, who wins? So when I went to counties, see, I can't even scratch my nose without looking like an idiot. When I went to counties, I was the only fat guy at counties. I went there, and it was like dudes from Chippewa and Dakota and Eisenhower and shit. And these guys are all like 6'4", like chiseled, like long arms and shit. Though. Yeah, like handsome Lukas Klotzes. And like I did my event, and I swam breaststroke. It was my best, and I get in there, and when you do breaststroke, you have a pull-out. So you dive in, and you're underwater, and you give it one of those, and still underwater, and then come up. And I was ahead of everybody, and I was in the last heat, so like the fastest heat at counties, and I was ahead of everyone. And then they caught up to me and passed me eventually, very, very quickly, like 2 strokes in. But my coach told me I had the best pull-out in Macomb County. So, I'm just... You boys got the best pull-out in Macomb County. So I'm just saying. It is Valentine's Day. I'm just saying. It is Valentine's Day. Shawty, what's up?
Put it to good use.
But
I have you, though, Spencer.
I appreciate that.
Both in your primes?
Yeah. I just have to kneecap Michael Phelps before the race started.
No, I think you straight up. You beat him.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I wish I had that much confidence.
The best pull-out in the world.
County.
I say in the world.
Michigan, Macomb County. Hey. Maybe Little Honey will be finding out later tonight how that pull-out looks. But now I got to tell you guys about another topic that we did yesterday. We did our Who We Want at 6 and 18 for the Detroit Lions. And there were different realizations. There's a Bijan Robinson thrown in there. I know you like Quentin Johnston a lot. But people in the chat had different things, and they're talking about obviously defense. Everybody wants defense. Is that still the case? Are you still, like, the Lions have to go defense with at least 3 of their first 4 picks? Or is it something that you're growing on more that you can grab a playmaker in that top 4?
At the beginning of this whole offseason process, I was very much defense to the whole draft. But then when you think about it, and you remember we have Brad fucking Holmes as our GM, we have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. Mm-hmm. He's going to get a talented player no matter what, and then he still has the whole rest of the draft. Do we not remember who he got in the 6th round last year? James Houston, Malcolm Rodriguez. So why are we not willing to go take an offensive playmaker who can take our offense from, I think is really good right now because we don't have the talent of the Cincinnati Bengals, the Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs. If we add a Quentin Johnston, another number 1 receiver to go with Amon, J-Mo, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, there is not a defense in the NFC North that's going to be able to stop it, and we will have the offensive firepower to go up with the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, who have mobile quarterbacks and we don't. Mm-hmm. They have an advantage that we do not, so we need to go out there and find out what is the Detroit Lions' advantage, because we can still build the offense and the defense very well in the draft and free agency.
So would you'd take him at 18?
I would 100% take a defensive player with the first pick, and then I'm thinking you take the best offensive playmaker at 18.
Okay, I don't hate it. What about you, Booner?
I don't hate that, but I'm stuck on the fact of going defense with the first 2 picks, and then at the 3rd and 4th pick, see who drops. I saw a mock draft where Quentin Johnston dropped. If that happens, go at him with that 3rd pick. Like, whatever happens, like, I think if an offensive guy drops to those 3rd, 4th picks, you go after it. But I'm so stuck on getting that defensive lineman, getting someone to build that line up, and go and get in a corner at 18, or just building that defense up. Get the best defensive players you can. Like, and I know, Lukas, you've been a big guy about these corners. Mm-hmm. What happens if you get a D lineman at 6 and then there's 18, you go offense and you just don't have another corner out there on the field? You have to wait till later in the draft. With these 5 or 6 elite corners right now in the draft, they're all going to be gone. So that's where I'm like, just go defense. You can get an offensive guy. Just like they found Malcolm Rodriguez, they found Amon-Ra St. Brown. They can find these guys. But right now, I think we had a top 5 offense. Like, our offense in yards was 5th in the league this year. We have that already. Bring the defense to top 15. Go get some guys to fill out that defense. Look at the Eagles. They went and got rookies. They drafted guys. They brought guys in on small contracts. Look where they were playing at. I know they lost, which sucked, but you know what I mean? Like, go build that defense up. Put a defense behind Ben Johnson. Like, give him that support. And then, those 3rd, 4th, 5th picks, then start looking. Go find another Amon-Ra. Go, if Quentin Johnston falls, take him. Like, there's going to be options, but I think you have to get the best available defenders in this draft.
Yeah, Rustin Burks in the Woodward Sports Chat says you can get Gonzalez and Porter Jr. or Witherspoon. And that's what it is for me. I really want one of those top 3 cornerbacks, whether it be Porter Jr., Gonzalez, preferably Gonzalez, or Witherspoon. I really want one of those guys. So if I didn't get your guys' takes on this, obviously you weren't in here yesterday, who are you taking at 6 if you're the Detroit Lions? No trading back, nothing like
just
that.
Taking at 6.
Obviously, like Jalen Carter and Will Anderson aren't there. Who are you taking at 6?
I don't think there's a better fit for the Detroit Lions than Devon Witherspoon. I think you go back to just his college play style. He's a press man corner. It's a plus for the Lions. He played with Kirby Joseph, and they're very connected, so that's instant playing chemistry, which in the secondary is huge because it's all on communication and trusting your gut. And if you have 2 guys that are already on the same page, it's just going to make the whole process go faster. And I like Gonzalez a lot, like you were saying. I think the definitive factor for me is I think Gonzalez is the guy who excels in zone coverage, and he needs to catch up a little bit in man. And I think just with Aaron Glenn's play style and how the Lions like to send the house a lot of times, especially in crucial downs like 3rd and 19 against Lamar Jackson or 3rd and 18 against Zach Wilson, you need a guy who's going to be able to stay on the wide receiver's hip, and I think that's exactly what Devon Witherspoon is.
So you're taking him at 6?
Yeah, I think that's just one of those guys where it's just you're going to regret passing up, and then he goes at 8, and you're like, fuck, why did we take him?
I don't hate that at all. Booner, who would you take at 6?
At 6, I personally, I'm building that defensive line. I'm going Miles Murphy. I know you guys had the
Tyree Wilson,
the trainer.
Oh yeah.
And he mentioned Miles Murphy.
Yeah,
I love him.
Grade.
Yeah, so I like that. I do think that Witherspoon or Gonzalez, one of these guys are going to be available at 18. I don't think they all get drafted before 18. So I think you could potentially get him out because Miles Murphy's going to be off the board at 18.
Yeah.
So I think you can get a Miles Murphy and you can go get the remaining corner if Brad Holmes, maybe he notices a guy's going to drop and take some Kelly Ringo, whoever it is.
Oh, man, I don't want Kelly Ringo.
Yeah, that's the one I don't.
He's a good option. I'm sure he's a good player. But
like if Brian Branch drops, grab him at 18.
Brian Branch is a dog.
Yeah. JB, how do you feel? Would you sneak an offensive player there in the first couple picks for the Detroit Lions?
I don't know. I might. I mean, I'm seeing like mock drafts and different kind of picks that are coming out right now. And hey, Braylon is kind of swaying me earlier today on Ermanni Edwards and Mass about, as you said, Spencer, trading back a little bit, maybe to Carolina, getting an extra draft pick, whether that's in the 2nd round, 3rd round, something like that. Just getting some more capital in this draft at least. But I still would like to see them go after either Christian Gonzalez or Tyree Wilson, either with that first pick. But I think I'm coming around to maybe Bijan for that 2nd first-round pick.
Yeah. I like Bijan.
That is if Dalvin Cook is not available to us.
I like Bijan. And Jesse Adams in the Woodward Sports Chat says, is it a concern that 2 defensive backs from the Big Ten we want the Lions to draft didn't really play against good passing games except for one, obviously Ohio State? Does that concern you with Witherspoon and Porter, that obviously the Big Ten is known for more of a ground and pound type offense?
Going back and watching the film does a little bit with Porter just because he doesn't have the playmaking skills, in my opinion, that Devon Witherspoon does. Devon Witherspoon is a cornerback that hits like a fucking safety. So he's going to make an impact in both the pass and running game, and he's just very fundamental. If you go back and watch his film, there's not going to be anything where you're like, that kind of worried me, because even when he's messing up, it's very close, and he's still kind of making a play out of it.
Yeah.
Like, I was going back, most of his penalties and his mistakes, they weren't missed tackles. He was getting there a little too early, and that comes down to Aaron Glenn, and I trust Aaron Glenn with everything in the world. So I'm not worried about it.
Sure. Booner?
So 2 things. The first is, I mean, Kirby Joseph came out of the Big Ten, and he's a ball hawk. Like,
that's true.
And he tackled, like, he's been good this season.
Came out of Illinois.
Yeah, you can look at that and say, hey, Kirby, he's made the transition very well. So it's hard to say Witherspoon can't. But back to your point of, like, trading, and I really do think there is a big chance that Brad Holmes takes that 6th pick and he sees like a Tampa or like a New Orleans that's like they're looking like C.J. Stroud, Will Levis starts to drop to 5, 6, and they trade up and we go back, grab an extra pick, go back to like 10, 11, 12. I would not be surprised at all. What we saw Brad Holmes do last year, if we see that again. And they still end up getting Miles Murphy at 10 and CJ Witherspoon. Like
I wouldn't mind that at all. And also the threat of trading up in the later first round.
Yep.
When, and maybe one of those guys is still there. Maybe a Quentin Johnston falls to 20 or something. Brad Holmes has those 2 second-round picks, and he says, hey, we saw him pull the trigger to get J-Mo.
We're dealing!
Yeah, maybe wheeling and dealing. Brad Holmes getting his big body receiver.
Is it crazy that both, Troy Weaver and Brad Holmes, we both kind of, the last couple of years, we've noticed both of them just trade they make moves in the draft.
Oh yeah, when they see their guy, they go get him.
Yeah, I like that. I love that.
I like it a lot. I think that's, they trust their guns, they trust their scouting ability, and they know that if their guy's there and he's falling, they're going to go get him. So it's something that I like to see. We obviously, I have implicit trust in Brad Holmes, and whatever he does is going to be the right decision because he's one of the best drafters I've seen in Detroit. But next, we're going to talk about a little segment that hits home on the Valentine's Day season. But let me tell you guys about Big Boy first, because wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try their classic meatloaf or Cajun chicken Alfredo. What about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The Lumberjack, Santa Fe Garden, or Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today and satisfy those taste buds.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Chili Peppers Tanning. Now it is officially free tan week from now until Saturday. New customers go to Chili Peppers Tanning, any of their locations, get the UV tanning for free today. 50% off all lotions, including the favorites, Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cow Tan, and Swedish Beauty lotions. All good ideas for guys that, still lacking on the Valentine's Day gifts. Join the Pepper Club, for all the best deals where they beat all competitors by $5. $5,
wow.
Y'all. Do yourself a favor.
Wow.
Go to Chili Peppers Tanning. They got the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. $5.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. Woodward Heavyweights, live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Spencer Raxter. He's Lukas Klotz. Chris and JB in the booth. And we got Booner in the Maz chair. So I promised some Thanksgiving. Sorry, I'm fat. Valentine's Day related topics, and this is one. It is the heavyweights. Yep. Thanksgiving is one of the best holiday of the year by far.
I think that and the 4th.
I like the 4th of July is a good one.
4th is elite.
I like Thanksgiving because you get the turkey and not the turkey, but because turkey's trash.
Turkey's trash.
But you get the dinner and all the spread without any of the pressure of buying gifts like you do on Christmas.
Yeah, and football,
basketball on. You just get to eat and pass out. It's a great day. But Valentine's Day is today. So Valentine's Day related topic. I did this with Stick when he was on, and he didn't like it too much because I made him choose between the 3 general managers in Detroit that we're familiar with. But now it's going to be even harder because we're going to do it with the 3 young stars of the Detroit Lions, and we're doing fuck one, marry one, ditch one. So FMD, Lukas, you're up first. FMD, Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
So I took this in a little bit of a deeper route, and being the petite build that I am, around 6'1", 170 on a good day, There's not a lot that I can handle, so I think Amon would be. I think I'm gonna go with Aiden for the fuck because it's gonna be. It's gonna be.
You know he's 6'7", right?
It's one time though.
That's fair.
It's a time out of the way. It's something that I can try to put in the back of my noggin forever, but it's always gonna be there.
All right.
But it's not going to be as painful as Panay. I mean, Panay's throwing around Aaron Donald as a rookie.
He's an aggressive guy.
I'm sure it'll still be painful.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to it's going to be even more. So as a petite man, I'm going to marry Amon. You can tell he's a very fundamental man, knows how to hold a house together. So I'm going to go marry Amon. I'll do the dirty with Aiden once, and I'm going to have to ditch Panay.
Wow.
Love them all, though. Love them all. Just have to call it how it is.
That's crazy.
It's fair. Booner?
I'm the heavyweights. He's going to ditch Panay. That's...
Yeah.
I'm one night standing there with Amon-Ra.
Okay.
Get that out of the way. I had that decided right away. I'm going to marry Panay Sewell.
I like that.
He's a heavyweight. Hear me out. He's a heavyweight.
I like that. He's a protector.
Yeah. He knows how... I'm sure he knows how to cook up a mean meal.
He's already a father.
He's a father. I mean that.
So you're coming into a committed relationship. He's got baggage with him.
He does have baggage.
That's all right.
Amon, dad's a body lifter, loaded through the family.
Yeah, one night stand. We'll leave that one. That's good. I want the wife material.
Okay.
The wife material is Panay Sewell. Panay Sewell's wife material. He'll cook for you. I bet he probably cooks a mean meal.
Probably doesn't go out much.
Yeah, that's good.
Probably
We'll sit little Netflix and chill. We'll be chilling. Yeah. We're good. And then I'm ditching Aiden Hutchinson.
Dude.
I love him, but I mean sometimes he can be a little cringe. So he can. That's my guy.
That's fair.
Doughboy Steve goes, yeah, but St. Brown gonna spit on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Same, he's got good hands too. You know he's got good hands.
Doesn't drop much.
JB. JB, where you at with this one?
Jesus, you guys put way too much thought.
Fuck one, marry one, ditch one.
It's Valentine's Day, man.
First off, I'm ditching Panay. I don't care. I'm on that Lucas
Yeah,
same train too. Like it's not happening. But I am marrying Amon-Ra, and then I'll fuck Aiden, I guess.
the disrespect for the heavyweights on
disrespect for the heavyweights is real.
When you're not a heavyweight, man, it's like imagine being a lightweight getting smacked by a heavyweight. No, imagine Conor McGregor getting smacked around with Kimbo Slice.
Yeah.
And this is not going to turn out well.
I'm sure Kimbo's...
It's something that I don't need to go through. It's going to be a lose either way, so I'm not going to take the biggest L.
That's fair. Chris?
All right. I'm marrying Penny off the wham.
I like it.
We had a feeling
Penny
he was going to marry Penny just for the pleasure out of it for him.
No. No. I'm practicing abstinence, but I'm marrying Penny. And then I think I'm a one night stand with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay.
You know, I feel like that's just the best option there. And then I'm just ditching Aiden. Not much there.
Yeah, that's fair. The artist FK Spoon says,
I'm realizing
that
3.
That no one is saying pause. It's fair. All right.
Let's take a group pause.
1, 2, 3, pause. All right.
There we go. We're all cured.
We're covered.
Resume. I am fucking Aiden Hutchinson. No, pause. I fuck Aiden. You know, he's a young bull. He's ready to go. He's obviously a high effort guy. You know, obviously.
He's got a high motor.
Yeah, he's got a high motor. You know, he can probably do what he does. I'm going with Aiden for that one.
That's gonna be like a 12-hour experience.
Yeah, it's the man is all hustle. He's all grit, so obviously that's something you want to go with. Pause.
You got to throw that.
Resume. I am marrying Penny Sewell because Penny Sewell, like we said, he is a protector. He is a provider. That man is going to be the best offensive tackle in the NFL very soon. He'll stand up for you too. You saw him get in the face
of Aaron Donald. When the comp comes up.
Yeah.
He's not going to let it happen.
You saw him manhandle Nick Bosa in his first start. You saw him put Micah Parsons in a bread box earlier this year. Penny Sewell will be the guy who somebody comes up, you know, me and Penny, we're out on the town, he takes me out, we're having a nice dinner. Somebody comes up, says something slick.
Episode of Brazzers, right?
Yeah. Penny will stand up to him and smack him across the face. Penny Sewell is a protector. I'm marrying Penny Sewell. Pause. And then, I'm sorry, Amon-Ra St. Brown, but you're getting ditched. It's not you, it's me. I hope you have a fantastic Valentine's Day. You're going to fall on your feet. You're going to be fine. But you don't bring the girth that I'm looking for. And those other two guys, they bring the girth.
They do.
Pause. But in all seriousness,
yeah, no, it's
I'm fucking
serious.
Aiden Hutchinson. No, if you had, so say you can only pick one of these guys.
We're going deeper into this.
To be, no, this is more serious. To be on the Detroit Lions for the rest of their career.
Oh, like
one of these three guys, you can only pick one of them. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, or Aiden Hutchinson. Who are you picking?
I think just because of the longevity of the career, I'm going to take Penei. I think besides quarterback, it's the second most valuable position on the offensive side, tackle.
Mhm.
And I think he's just such a genetic freak, especially at the age. I mean, the man's only younger than I am, and you can tell we look nothing alike. I think he's the second coming of Trent Williams, and I sure want that.
Yeah.
I think he has the definition to be elite.
I like it. Booner, you can only keep one of these guys on the Lions for their whole career. Who are you taking?
Yeah, I want to go Penei. I mean, we know he's a gold jacket. Like he's an elite player. But the one trend that we talk about of a team that competes every year is having that elite defensive end that can get to the quarterback. So I'm going to go Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's going to have I think he could potentially have a Hall of Fame career as well. Kind of like I don't want to say like an Aaron Donald level, but up there to where he can affect your franchise for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think all of those guys, it's a good choice. So breaking that down is tough.
It's tough.
decision.
Yeah, I want all of them on the Lions.
Yeah.
for the
So,
whole
but
career.
Aiden, I mean, he's young. I mean, obviously they're all young, but he's the youngest. And just being able to have that defensive presence, I have to go with that.
Yeah. Chris, can you put a poll up of that, and then who would you pick?
Yeah.
But being
I would
like
go
in
with
all
Penei.
seriousness, I think all of these guys will be Lions for at least 5-6 years. I mean,
agree.
especially like Amon's a guy from Cali. He's definitely nowhere from Detroit or anything like that where he has ties, but he's a junkyard dog. And usually when you got those junkyard dogs, they like staying on the chain that got him. So I think he's going to be home for a long time. Aiden Hutchinson, obviously a big Michigan guy. Penei Sewell, I don't know, you don't really see linemen really getting up and leaving that much unless it's for a trade. I don't really see us ever trading Penei Sewell, so I think all three of them could be.
Yeah, Chris, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. I'm going with Penei. That's easy for everything, for all the reasons everybody said. I think as much as we love AB, you got to be realistic about it. And again, it all depends on the quarterback and who's throwing to him. I'm not slandering Jared Goff, but saying that's a position that's dependent on another position more than these other two. And with Aiden Hutchinson, I don't see him being the top of the top like I do with Penei. Penei I already know, and it's been consistent. Whereas Aiden Hutchinson had a great rookie year, don't get me wrong, but I think there was a lot of inconsistencies which will round out throughout his career, but just off of what I've seen now, I'm going with Penei. I mean, you just know.
Yeah.
When was the time he got worked this season? Like
Never ever.
Exactly.
All right, throw that poll in the chat.
I got you.
JB, who do you got? Hypothetical situation. Obviously, you want to keep all of them, but you can only keep one of them in Detroit for their whole career. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson. Who are you taking?
I think the easy answer would be Amon-Ra, but I'm actually going with Aiden Hutchinson here, just because it would be nice to see that hometown kid live out his whole career here in Michigan all the way through and through. That, and I believe, like, since he is a rookie, he still has more to do and more to grow. I think he has a long run that could honestly be NFL Hall of Famer soon, or Hall of Famer once his career is actually done. And no disrespect to Amon-Ra either. He will be up there as well too, but I just feel a little bit more upside with Aiden. Like, he just seems to be that dog that Lukas was saying that could be out there willing to learn and do more to, further his career.
Yeah, it is a tough decision because, you want to keep all of these guys here for a long time. They are all fantastic players, top players at their position, very soon to come. But I'm going to go with Penei Sewell. I just think he is a different type of dog. He is a guy that brings a different type of mindset to that offense, to that offensive line. He has that Detroit grit where it's, he's not backing down to anyone. Like we said while I was marrying him, how he is a protector. He gets in the face of Aaron Donald. He's chirping at people. We saw when he had to catch and he comes down with it, the defensive back tried to knock the ball out of his hands. He slapped him across the helmet. Like it's a different type of dog for me. And Penei Sewell wholeheartedly is my favorite player on the Detroit Lions, outside of Malcolm Rodriguez, obviously. But it's Penei Sewell is just a different beast, man. And I really think that he could be the best right tackle in the NFL as soon as Lane Johnson retires. Like as soon as he's gone, Penei Sewell is that dude.
You could even say I expect not next year. I think Penei is going to be the undoubted number 2.
Yes.
And then Lane's age is going to catch up to him. And there's not a tackle who is as young and as dominant as Penei, so I think we're going to pay him, but it's going to be 100% worth it.
We don't know, what that groin surgery could do to Lane Johnson or the recovery time off of that. We could be seeing a first-team All-Pro year out of Penei Sewell next year.
Yeah, those paths are going to interject at some point. Like, Lane Johnson's going to go down, and Penei is, right now, he's on his way up.
He's going to continue to rise, and it's awesome. But, if you felt scarred by our last segment and you need somebody to talk to, we have the place for you. That is SMA, or the Sports Marketing Agency, because the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. So if you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com and get the help you deserve.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Spencer Raxter. He's Lukas Klotz. We got JB and Chris in the booths, and my boy Booner in the Maz chair. Let me see. I just saw something in the chat. Rustin Burke says, Spencer, did you hear Tracy Walker is going to be available before training camp even starts? Woo! That is awesome to hear. That is, obviously, we've seen him doing his rehab. We've seen him going after it, and I talked to KJ Wright on Big D Energy, and obviously KJ Wright was a part of the Legion of Boom.
Yep.
And the most important part of the Legion of Boom was that safety tandem of Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor. And I asked him about the Lions and their safety tandem and what they could do with a guy like Kirby Joseph out there with Tracy Walker. And he says he likes it a lot. Obviously, it's really important to have two guys like that on the back end, one that can lay the stick, one that can make some plays. And I'm super excited to see what these guys can do together. I thought Tracy Walker going into this season was going to be the best defensive player on the Lions. I thought he was going to be a Pro Bowler. Unfortunately, he went down with the injury. But now it looks like he's ahead of schedule. He could potentially be back before training camp. So I'm very, very excited for it. I know this is unscripted, but the chat gives us some gold. We got to go with it, Lucas. What could a combination of Tracy Walker and Kirby Joseph mean for the Lions next year?
It could be so vital because, especially at the safety position, what was the worst part of watching the Lions defense last year? And it was stopping the run, because it's just so painful to just consistently watch something where you can't do anything about it. And not only is Tracy Walker going to bring the zone coverage and the man coverage at the safety spot, but he's going to help us in so much with the run game, where it's also going to allow Kirby to be the playmaker. And I think both of them have the ability to go up and smack somebody at the line, and they both have like phenomenal playmaking ability. So I think adding those guys, we talk about wanting to bring in a Devon Witherspoon, a Christian Gonzalez, so that's going to help them out even more. And even if we want to take another safety, Tracy Walker is one of those guys where he can go in the box like Deshaun Elliott did this year, because I don't really think we're going to bring Elliott back just because we do have Walker. And I just think it's going to bring an element that we forgot about. Like, oh shit, I forgot about this guy, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Booner?
Yeah, it's exciting, and I don't know if you guys like saw a couple weeks ago that those two guys were. It's just not on the field. Like, they were off the field hanging out down in Florida a couple weeks ago.
Rolling around Tracy's Bentley coupe.
Yeah, so, like, these guys, they've been together. Like, they didn't play together all year. Obviously, Kirby came in when Tracy got hurt. But these two guys, they vibe together. Like, they've built that chemistry off the field. And that's exactly, I think, what you want to see in a championship team. You have to see, like, guys, like, just, like, come together like that. You have to have that chemistry. So I do think it's very interesting to see him come back. I think it's going to be a huge step. Like, that defense, I keep saying, we need to draft defense. We need to build this defense up. That is another part of that chain there. Is having a guy like Tracy Walker. Did he not call plays when he was? He did. Like, he was the heart of that defense. So to have a guy like that come back, the defense already gets elevated a little bit. And then if you do have a guy like Elliott that is back and kind of that switching in and out of that role, it's just that much better. I don't think it hurts anything.
You think they'd still go bring Elliott back if Tracy was healthy and ready to go?
I don't know. I don't see like them like just completely going away from it. I think there's an opportunity where maybe
he had a good year.
Yeah, and he could go somewhere else. I do think he can get paid. It depends on how much they want to pay him and kind of go forward with that. But I do think Tracy Walker would be better than Elliott, obviously. Yeah. And the fact that they have that chemistry off the field, him and Kirby, because it was weird. We all talked about it at the beginning of the year when Kirby started going off, like, what's going to happen with Tracy when he comes back. Now you see it's Kirby and Tracy. So
they're boys in the back end, because Tracy Walker has played strong safety before, and he played well when he played there. So it's definitely possible. JB, how do you feel about the potential pairing? You got the 31 Savage shirt on. How do you feel about Tracy and Kirby on the back end of that defense?
Dude, this would be nice. This would be real nice. During his whole rehab, he didn't post any updates or anything like that. He just wanted to stay locked in and focused. And now you're starting to see that, and you're starting to see him coming out and open and say, hey, I'll be ready for OTAs. And that's perfect because, as Booner said, that communication, that bond that all these players have together, being in that backfield, you want to see that get together once again out there on the field. And I think once he gets prepared, him, Jeff Okudah, all together, they're going to be in sync. And it's going to be a tough defense to try and throw that ball against.
Yeah. So do you think that they just ditched Deshaun Elliott after, he had a great season back there. He was bringing the thunder up on some of those tackles, helping out in the run game a lot. You think they just move on from him, because he is a free agent?
I think so, and he signed a one-year deal, a prove-it deal, and which he did prove it. But if you go back and you look at kind of Deshaun Elliott off the field, he's still really clicked up with Ravens players. I don't think he's been one of those guys really, not buy in, but kind of glue with the rest of the Lions roster. He kind of seemed one of those guys that's kind of like an odd man out. Yeah. Again, great player, but I just don't think he's necessarily one of the key part of the Lions chemistry. And I think that's their main goal right now, is to keep that core group together. And I think Tracy is part of that core group. We just couldn't see it on the field last year. Yeah. We got to bring back Jamal. I think they're going to try to make an effort to sign Chark over Elliott. So I think he's not going to be a priority, and he can get paid more elsewhere. So I think he's going to be gone.
You think the same thing, Chark over Elliott?
Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, it's weird, though, because, like Lucas, I know you wanted an offensive player in the first round, so if you do that, then it's Deshaun Elliott. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sign Chark and use one of your first rounds for a wide receiver. So
Bijan,
yeah, that's true. But you know what I mean? Like, so I do think Deshaun Elliott, he deserves some money. Like, he showed out, like, in an aspect, he did. But I do just imagine, though, that like safety group there with Deshaun Elliott as your third. That's kind of scary when you do think about it.
Yeah, it would be a pretty nasty rotation. But how much money would he be commanding to be the third safety, or maybe start at the beginning of the year as Tracy's getting issued back into the game? I don't know if he's going to be. He says he's going to be ready for OTAs, but if he'll be game ready, get his tendencies back. You've got Ife Melifonwu is another safety back there, but other than that, it's kind of he's very raw. He made some spot starts there at the end of the year and looked well, but would you draft a safety then, or what are you doing if you let Deshaun Elliott walk?
I would not draft a safety. I would go out in free agency. I know Jordan Poyer. If we're going to go out in free agency and get a safety, I think that's the way you go. But
that'd be a ticket.
It would be a ticket, but I think it'd be worth it because it's one of those vet guys that knows how to win, and I think he could have a really big impact. But I'm not going to draft a safety in the first round. If somehow Brian Branch falls to the second round, or even if he's late in the first, how you said you trade up and you go get a guy, I could understand it. But again, I think linebacker, defensive line, and cornerback are all positions of need more than safety because, like we said, we have Tracy Walker and Kirby Joseph. We need a linebacker. We need a defensive lineman. We need a corner.
Yeah.
So I would go there first.
Would you think about drafting a safety if they, like you said, they didn't re-sign Deshaun Elliott, and then your third guy is possibly Ife Melifonwu, and Tracy Walker's still? It'd be hard to tell me that Tracy Walker would be 100% at the
right
beginning
away.
of the year.
Yeah, I agree. Brian Branch, if like you said, if he falls. Outside of that, maybe we know Brad Holmes can evaluate talent really well. So if he finds a safety later in the draft, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that either. To be honest, goes fine. Like he found Kirby Joseph last year. Like if he goes and does that, I wouldn't be against it. Especially if they would rather do that than sign Deshaun Elliott, and Deshaun Elliott finds a contract somewhere else. Then I wouldn't hate that.
What do you figure? Rustin Burke says Gonzalez, Porter Jr., Rodrigo, Anzalone, Joseph, and Walker. Wowza.
I hope not.
Well, yeah. What if they went double corner?
I mean, again, I wouldn't be mad, but I don't see how practical that is when you have a 53-man roster.
Yeah, it's tough.
And it's just like, as much as we don't like Okudah, we can all agree that he wouldn't be that bad this time around in developing into a number 2, number 3 corner. Because I don't think if we don't take 2 corners in the first 2 rounds, like we're going to take another one later. And again, I trust Brad Holmes to develop this guy. I would not want Christian Gonzalez and Joey Porter, though, just because those are 2 guys that, one, I don't think will be there, and I don't think they're the cream of the crop when it comes to man coverage. So that's, I really, really want Devon Witherspoon. So that's my guy.
Yeah. Corey Berry says Achilles tears are tricky. I'd like them to re-sign Elliott if it's the right price. And like I said, I don't know as much as, Tracy Walker is ahead of schedule. As much as I want to see him out there on the field, it'd be hard for you to tell me and for me to believe it if you said he's going to be 100% week 1 going into the season, because it is an Achilles tear. It is a position where you have to do a lot of lateral movements and different things like that. They did replace the field, obviously. Sheila Ford Hamp got that done and replaced the field in Ford Field, but still, you might need some insurance back there, so I wouldn't mind them bringing in Deshaun Elliott back, honestly.
It's definitely like no loss. Just how much of a win is it, if that makes sense, compared to what you could do with that money?
Yeah.
The double corner, I don't like that. That's because like Jeff Okudah, like Lucas said, that it could be your number 2 corner. Like it wasn't like he struggled at times, but he was an elite tackler. Like he did things that were good. It was just when he was in that one spot and he had to go, like he struggled a little bit. Yeah. So I do think you can have him as your 2. I don't think you go double. I would rather get a safety later on, but realistically, number 1 option, I'm re-signing Deshaun Elliott. Like whoever that was in the chat, you don't know what Tracy Walker's going to be like. Like you said, Spencer, he's not going to be 100% right away. If you have Deshaun Elliott in there right away from the jump, you're not going to start 1 and 6. You have a guy in there you can trust with Kirby Joseph already.
Yeah, Tragan Kier Studios in the Woodward Sports chat says, I'm not mad at double corner and defensive tackle Sika Ika in the second. I love Sika Ika. I love that guy. I don't know about double corner that results in that, but corner Bijan and Ika.
If we got Bijan and Ika,
I'm good with that.
And 2.
Yeah.
Because however you arrange that, like let's say you go corner, Bijan, Ika. You could go corner, Bijan, corner. Like you wouldn't be mad with it. It's just you're pulling straight talent out of there.
I'd like to see it, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Like we said, Brad Holmes. What?
Had a little flood monster there.
Jesus Christ, man! You gotta
get that on the multicoder. I'll grab that from the multicoder.
Yeah, we're getting that for sure. But what the fuck?
A demon came out of the scepter.
Let me tell you guys about Alta Engineering, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job. Still can't believe it. To get the job done, you got a big project coming up. Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. It's Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Spencer Raxter. That man who made that noise was Lukas Klotz. We have JB Smooth on the ones and twos. What? Chris Platty.
What was that? No, hold on. What was that? Spencer goes like this to point to me.
Yeah.
And then then we got JB Smooth just redirects.
I always do you first. I feel like I'm going to give JB some love. JB Smooth on the ones and twos. Chris Platty in the TD booth. And Booner in the Maz chair. So we see some comments in the chat. And they're trying to describe the noise that you just made. And
Cocaine Bear.
Rake says, I thought someone was being murdered. Efog3 says, sounded like a lion killing a bear. And Rustin Burks described my time at Michigan State. He said Cocaine Bear. And but though, I do want to see that movie.
It's like the new Sharknado. Like, you know it's going to be so bad, but it's just going to be such bad content that it's like enjoyable.
I've never seen a movie like that, like the Shark movie. I've never seen that like actually in trailers on TV.
No,
like this. This is so crazy.
There's a big cast too. Like there are some good actors. Like Ray Liotta's last movie. O'Shea Jackson's gonna be like. There's.
Is this a true story?
It is a true story.
That's crazy.
It is based off. Talk about one of the scariest things ever. Like I already don't fuck with bears. Like.
Imagine a grizzly off some fucking blow.
Just ripped off some blow. Like,
coming right down the middle, right at you.
Hey, I want to tell you about my business plan. It's like, we get all the honey, and we bring it in here, and then we start shipping it off in little containers, and we call it bear honey. And I don't know, man. All I know is that is going to be a cinematic masterpiece.
It might win an Emmy.
It might win an Emmy. I'm going to see it in 4K. Like, I'm talking,
3D?
Imagine 3D would be
3D would be elite.
Rip a couple lines, go in there, and be like, oh, we're going for Cocaine Bear, baby. Like, that would be something crazy. But now we have another Valentine. I almost said Thanksgiving again. I'm just too fat. A Valentine's Day topic. We did the, obviously, F1, marry one, ditch one. And now we're going to do a Would You Rather.
Aww.
And I didn't tell you guys about these before.
Yeah, these are all
before the show. These were I wrote them down in the back. They're gonna start a little sports related, and then
branch off,
stray off a little bit. So first one, say Jared Goff. I don't know. He's gone. He hates Detroit. He leaves. He's gone forever. The Lions need a quarterback. Would you rather have Kyler Murray or Derek Carr?
Derek Carr. Not even thinking twice.
Not even
thinking fucking twice.
You hate Kyler Murray?
I don't.
He is like 5'4".
I hate Kyler Murray as a football player. I mean, he seems like a cock off the field too, but just as far as like a leader in a field general, hell no. Derek Carr, I think, lacks the skill set that Kyler does, but I think he's very even level talented with Goff.
Okay.
He'd lead a locker room. Like, I think him and Dan Campbell would be like, they would go at it. They'd be the guys that would just. They would be the guys.
I think
they'd be a good fit.
Both crying at the podium.
Yep.
Booner, Kyler Murray or Derek Carr?
I love Derek Carr.
I'm gonna go to Kyler.
But I'm going with Kyler Murray. Give me Kyler Murray, man. I want to play Call of Duty with him in the locker room.
That's fair.
I mean, we just have a good time.
You don't want to be catching passes with him on the field, though.
I'm not a receiver. I'm a coach. I'm a GM.
That's fair.
So no, I'll go Kyler Murray for being honest. Though I I see the Derek Carr thing, leadership, all of that, the issues with Kyler Murray. But 12 months ago, we all were talking about Kyler Murray, MVP, this, that. He can lead the Cardinals. We talked about that 12 months ago. Let's not forget how quick things turn. He still has the potential, even coming off an injury. Like, he can run the ball. Like, he has everything that you want in a quarterback to go win a Super Bowl. Yeah. He just can't put his head together, and he can't. It's like, what does Stephen A. Stay off the weed, stay off the COD, like, get off the Call of Duty. He can't do it. So if you can get him off the Call of Duty, he'll. I think he has way more potential than Derek Carr.
That's fair. JB, who are you taking, Kyler Murray or Derek Carr?
I'm rolling with Booner on this one. Give me Kyler Murray.
Let's go.
I don't mind the dude scrambling right there in the backfield to get 5-6 yards. I'm cool with it. As he said, if you can get him off of Call of Duty, that is perfect right there. And I think if he came to Detroit, hey, you might end up getting him off of Call of Duty, but also on to something else too. Who knows?
All right, Chris, would you rather Kyler Murray or Derek Carr?
It's Kyler Murray, and here's why. And here's why. Because he sucks, and he'll get you the top pick in the draft. Draft the quarterback you really want.
Caleb Williams next year.
I like it. I like it. Okay, next up, would you rather get truck sticked by Jamal Williams or dunked on by Jalen Duren?
I'm going to go dunked on by Jalen Duren.
Okay.
I think, it's going to hurt less, and I think Jalen Duren has the potential to be a star in this league, potentially a Hall of Famer in my opinion.
Ooh.
So at the end of the day, would you rather get trucked by a very good running back or have a Hall of Famer's nuts on your head? I'm going to go with the nuts on the head.
That's fair. Booner, would you rather get truck sticked by Jamal Williams or dunked on by Jalen Duren?
100 times out of 100 times, I would get dunked on by Jalen Duren.
Okay.
I've been dunked on before. And as I have 100%. If you played basketball at a good level, you've been dunked on.
Yeah.
I didn't jump, but I was just standing there. I was in help defense, got an elbow to the eye, and got dunked on. So I would take that again. Jamal Williams, I mean, we saw him on Good Morning America. He's like that whole thing. Like, I'm not getting trucked by him.
Dude's jacked.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that. So I'll go Jalen Duren. I don't want to mess with Jamal Williams at all.
All right, JB, dunked on by Jalen Duren or truck stick by Jamal Williams?
I'm not trying to have a hole in my chest, so I'd rather get dunked on. I don't care. I'll settle for that foul. Give me that.
That's fair. Chris, you've said you'll never get dunked on.
Yeah. I've never been dunked on, despite my Sean Bradley height. But you know what? For Jalen Duren, I'm throwing the lob too. As I want him to do the Shaq to me if he wants to. That was the most disrespectful dunk I've ever seen. Who was that guy on?
The Knicks.
The Knicks.
I can't remember.
He could Tracy McGrady me. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting trucked by Jamal Williams.
That's fair.
Hell no. I'm not trying to go to the afterlife.
That's fair. All right, Lucas, the next one. Would you rather consistently smell like Frank Ragnow after a game 24/7, or have Tyler Bertuzzi smile for the rest of your life and there's nothing you can do about it?
Can't do either about it.
No, can't fix either of them. You either smell like a sweaty ball sack the rest of your life, or you're missing 5 of your teeth.
I think I'm going with the smell because I think a missing tooth makes you look like you smell to begin with.
That's a good
And when
point.
you're getting yourself ready, you can't. When you're looking in the mirror, you're not gonna be like, oh fuck, I smell. You're gonna be like, oh fuck, I don't got a tooth.
Yeah.
And then females from afar, they won't know. You can put some layers on. You can hide it.
No, you can't hide that kind of stink.
I think you just got to be protective with it. You find the right girl, she won't care.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't like the fact of being able to like slip my tongue through my tooth at any time.
That's fair.
It's just not a securing.
Find a
feeling
hockey
for me.
girl though, she might like it.
Why would you want a hockey girl?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I know.
Booner, would you rather smell like Frank Ragnow after a game 24/7, or have Tyler Bertuzzi smile for 24/7?
I'll take Bert's smile. I mean, the smell. I don't know how I would talk to a girl and have her take me seriously if I smell. Like, you can at least like give an excuse about the teeth. Like, I got hit with a puck or something. I don't know. But the smell. Like, I hate being around people that smell and not hygiene, like, none of that. So, I have to go I already have bad teeth anyway, so Bertuzzi one is easy choice for me.
All right, JB, you smell like sweaty balls, or you got 3 teeth in your smile? Which one are you choosing?
Give me the smell. Every date I will have with my girl will be outside or at a Bath and Beyond. I'm just now seeing pictures of this Bertuzzi guy. No, I cannot do that. I cannot.
No. All right, Chris, Toothless grin or smelly balls? What do you choose?
Easily smelly. Every day of the week. If Post Malone, still pulling chicks, if Post Malone's still pulling chicks with that smell and the ugliness, I can at least be cute and smell bad. I'm good.
Do you know how many hockey guys have teeth like that, and they probably talk to more girls than Post Malone?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
No, fuck.
Well, if you sing, you can do anything.
That.
Look at Ed Sheeran. He's a little
true,
short, ugly piece of shit, but he can sing, so he can pull anybody. But that's a good one. All right, next one.
Also, not trying to sound like I'm whistling every time I talk.
That's fair. I got two more good ones. This one, I'm glad you guys are in here instead of Easy, because me and Easy already have half of this. So, would you rather have permanent Eli Manning stupid face, or like Eli Manning, he's just got the permanent stupid face, or be built like Andy Reid?
For life expectancy
For
reasons,
life expectancy.
Eli.
For life expectancy.
You get to 65, you're going to start being worried about the cholesterol, watching what you eat. I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, you want a cheeseburger when you want, not every day.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Booner, built like Andy Reid or Eli Manning's stupid face?
I'm like built like a junior Andy Reid right now, so I'm going to go with the Eli.
You're a Popeye's biscuit away from a tight end?
I'm right there, man.
JV?
2 extra cheeseburgers away.
Eli Manning's stupid face or built like Andy Reid?
I probably got to go with Eli Manning's stupid face. I don't think I can carry that weight around with me like Andy Reid does. I just can't do it.
That's fair. Chris, first of all, Eli Manning's stupid face or built like Andy Reid, you would be a fucking unit if you were built like Andy Reid. How tall you are?
100%. I'm in the NBA. That's why I'm taking it. 100%. I'm only lasting 1 year in the NBA, but I'm in the NBA, and on top of it, depend on the girl. Dad bods are in, so
you're right.
You know what I mean?
Damn right, brother. Damn right. But this one is probably the hardest decision out of all of them. I saved it for last.
Okay.
This is a lose-lose situation. Would you rather have Jackson Mahomes follow you around everywhere you go, or be the head of Antonio Brown's PR team?
Brown's PR team in a second? Didn't even have to hear about that second option. My annoyance level would go through the roof, and I'd probably walk out of the room with a case. He'd be, I don't know. He'd actually probably beat the fuck out of me thinking about it. Dude, 6'7". Jackson Mahomes is 6'7".
I think he's like 6'5". Like, he's up there.
He was a hooper, bro. If you go back,
him and Chris are probably eye to eye.
Yeah, he's a big boy. So thinking about that now, again, I'm gonna give him everything I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that he gets in some pain for the sake of the country. It needs to happen.
Yes.
But I'm going to take that. AB could be... I think AB being his PR guy would be like, oh, what's new today?
It'd be an adventure.
Yeah.
It'd be an adventure.
Getting his dick sucked on Snapchat. Fun. What are you doing?
Probably the most stressful job on the planet.
Yep.
Okay, Bruner.
Business is booming.
Would you rather have Jackson Mahomes follow you around everywhere you go, or be the head of AB's PR team?
Man, I'm actually considering...
Dude, imagine how much stress you would be under.
You know what? I'm going
Antonio
Jackson Mahomes.
Oh.
Because then I just get to hang out with Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
That's fair.
I'm in the room with him all the time. Me and him can just go back and forth about Jackson Mahomes.
And you can be famous.
And I'll be famous.
I guess you'd be famous either way.
I'll do the dances with him. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, good go figure.
Corvette. Yeah, I'll hit those dances with him for $100 million. Come on.
All right, JB. Would you rather have Jackson Mahomes follow you around everywhere you go, or be the head of Antonio Brown's PR team?
First off, I didn't know this either, but Jackson Mahomes is 6'5". He is taller than Patrick Mahomes. And secondly, no, I'd rather be AB's PR person.
Yep.
I am not dealing with those TikToks. I swear I will end up choking him if he's following me around all day.
That's fair. Chris, you and Jackson Mahomes could be a solid front court.
That is true.
I'm good on that.
I'm good on
that.
Point.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jesus. All right, what was it?
Would you rather have Jackson Mahomes follow you around everywhere you go, or be the head PR manager of Antonio Brown?
Head PR all day, every day on the week. Like you say, you got some wild stuff to deal with. That's cool. I like being unemployed, anyways. I'll be chilling at home, chilling at the crib.
That's fair. That's fair.
Chris and Jackson Mahomes could be a really good duo.
Dude,
for
that's
being
what
honest.
I'm saying.
Hell no.
They'd be a great front court.
Like two twins.
Yeah.
I think they'd be.
Dude, you guys could take over TikTok for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Come on, Chris. You make some good money doing that.
Not all money's good money.
That is fair.
It's honest.
Let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness.
Whoever said $20, lie.
Now is the best time. $1 million. Now is the best time to join Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. Has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $10 a month, or you could upgrade to the black card like I did. That's why I can't touch my head right now. For just a little bit more money, you can enjoy the amenities such as unlimited tanning, hydro massage chairs, total body enhancement, along with access to over 2,000 clubs worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. And remember, until February 16th, you can find your big fitness energy, because you can join now, for just $1 down and $10 a month. Hurry, because the offer ends soon. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goffs, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. 3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights Live on woodwardsports.com. I'm Spencer Raxter. He is Lukas Klotz. We have JB Smooth on the ones and twos, Chris Planning in the TD booth, and Booner in the Maz chair. We just got done with our Would You Rather segment. Now let's get back into some serious talk. I want to talk about the Red Wings for a little bit, so Lucas, you can take a pause. Hockey! Because the Red Wings got another big win last night in Vancouver. Dylan Larkin on a tear. He's had 4 goals in his last 2 games. Been playing lights out. Pay the man. Just do it. Just pay him. Just give him his money. Lock him up. Let him wear the C for a while. Dylan Larkin is proving why he deserves to wear the C. Obviously, he is against Vancouver, so take it or leave it, but they've been playing very impressive hockey. They won, 6-1 last night in Vancouver. We saw Fabry had a goal, Suter had a goal, Lidstrom had a goal, and then Larkin obviously had 2. And Ville Husso, again, standing on his head. The guy's been lights out in net lately, and it's just impressing me that they're making this push. It's going to be all uphill from here now, though. They have some serious opponents coming up, a really tough road trip, and they're going to have to prove that they deserve to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. And I do think it's crazy, like, with Larkin, since he's came back from that All-Star break, the 7 points, 5 goals since that break, I think he's came out and he, realized, we've got to flip a switch. If I want that contract, I really have to show, what I can bring to this Red Wings team, and that we can go win with me as that guy. And I still think there's an opportunity for them to bring in a guy that's 1A, 1B with him. Mm-hmm. But I think Larkin has kind of taken that role to where he's and I know it's only been a couple games, Spencer, but he had to have shown us something to be that's why you deserve it. There's potential there for you to be that guy, to take us to a playoffs and to show us something. The last couple of games, he is flipped the switch.
He's been lights out
since the pressure's been on.
Yeah, he's been playing very well, and it does suck that Dabber in the chat said, Lucas Raymond did get put on the IR, changed from day to day, so that's not great. But Verana did get called up. Verana is going to be skating with the big club. Hopefully he's playing in their next game. And I'm happy for that, because Verana is a guy that we all expected to pick up, be a 30-plus goal scorer this year. He was a guy who's on trajectory that when he's in the game, he's going to score you some goals. So I'm excited to see Vrana back on the ice. Just like when Fabry came back, he provides that punch. He provides a goal scorer. He provides a guy that's going to play on that first power play unit. And I'm excited to see Vrana back. Hopefully, we'll see what he does. I'm assuming he's going to be on the first line, honestly. You're going to want to put him up there with Larkin and see if you can get him hot right away. So we'll see what Vrana does, but his return to the Red Wings lineup can be a big help for them in the goal scoring. Yeah, especially kind of going forward. I talked to you in the back about it. Like, their remaining schedule, 23 out of those 30 games are against teams that have more points than them. Yeah. We're going to be playing playoff teams every single night now. Like, there's no break. It's basically just foot on the gas now going forward. If you want to make the playoffs and make a push for that wild card spot, it's all or nothing right now. Yeah. Husso stepped up, Larkin stepped up, and some of these other guys, like last night, all those guys that contributed, if you get that around Larkin and Husso, I mean, it is a scary team. Yeah, I heard, I think it was Chris Osgood talking about it, like you need those guys to step up. You need the secondary scoring numbers. If you want to break off, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins in a row, you're going to need a Pius Suter's goal. You're going to need a Lindstrom goal. You're going to, Johnny Burgers has been playing lights out. He got another goal last night. And Wallman was skating today. So he is still day-to-day. I did see, I think Daniela Bruce posted that he was skating with the team today. So I was happy to see that. But they're gonna need it from all around because they don't have that 50 goal scorer on their roster. They don't have a guy that they can rely on to just put the puck in the back of the net consistently over and over in every game. Obviously, Larkin's done it in the past too, but they've been against Vancouver. And are you going to expect him to do that when you're going and playing Edmonton and Colorado and Washington and all these teams they've got coming up? Boston, you got a home and home with Boston, and they're the best team in the league. Like, it's going to be tough to see him keep up that pace. You can't ask a guy to average 2 goals a game. Yeah. So question for you too is, I saw someone talk about how I think it was Detroit Dabber about people are interested in Bert. Yeah. I talked to Gentry about it earlier today, and I think he did on WoodwardSports.com. He did a article about it, but Larkin's success with Bert in the lineup it's a kind of insane when you look at it. So I mean, what are your thoughts on the Red Wings moving on from him? We'll see. You can't pay them both. Bert's going to ask for $6-7 million a year, and if Larkin's getting 9 and you want to get a legitimate 1C in here who you're going to pay 11 or 12, you can't pay Bert 7. As well to keep him. And I love Bert. I love what he does. All the guys in the locker room love him. He's a big locker room guy. He's a great presence. Brings some physicality. Brings some grit. Obviously, is adept to scoring goals. But we'll see what goes on. I do have a feeling he's going to get traded before the deadline. Yeah, I hope he doesn't. I really do. It seems like everyone in the chat is saying, like, Dan B, Bertuzzi's going to Dallas or Edmonton. Count on it. I hope he stays in Detroit. I'd like him to, but it doesn't make fiscal sense. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, because just like the contract negotiations with Larkin, like, you don't know where that's going. I saw today that he said he's in no rush at this point. To get a deal. Like, I don't know what that looks like, and you probably know more than me. Yeah. And DMAC, but I mean, if there's no rush there, it's interesting to see what they do with Bert, especially with the deadline coming up. Yeah, I feel like they're going to lock down Larkin. I'm not worried about that. I feel like there's going to be an agreement made. They're going to reach a point where they both feel comfortable with it. And Larkin will be locked down. He's going to be wearing the C for a while. But with Bert, man, it's like he gets injured a lot, but when he plays, he's very good. You talked about what it means for Larkin when he's in the lineup. They have a chemistry. They play well off of each other. But is that guy worth $6 or $7 million on your roster? I just don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. A lot of guys in here, like Jeremy, he was saying, no, you can pay them both. It'll be interesting to see, like you said, you don't think they can? Not if you want to go after and get a real 1C talent. I agree. If you want to go after and get a guy that you're going to pay $11-12 million a year, you can't afford a $9 million guy and a $6-7 million guy on their roster at the same time. You can't. If you want a guy to go next to Larkin, that 1A 1B guy, it'll be tougher to do it. And that's what I think the Red Wings are building towards. They're building towards getting a 50 goal scorer 1C. Like a Matthews or a McDavid or one of these guys. It's going to happen where it's going to shake up the National Hockey League. People are going to be like, holy shit, like Detroit is going to be right back. And unfortunately, Bert isn't that. He's a great player. He can make plays when they're there, but he's not a 50-goal scorer. Larkin is the captain, so he's going to get paid before Bert does. So to me, I don't know. It doesn't really fit. I'd like to see them go after a supreme top-shelf NHL center that will score you, that oh, we're not going to get shut out because we've got so-and-so here, and he's going to score a goal.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, and I haven't dug really far into it. I'm really interested to see who they can go after at the end of this season. Who can they bring in to take this team to the next level? Because they're one of those teams right now where they're on the doorstep to where they're a piece away. Like we've seen it since the All-Star break. They are competing. We're gonna see it these next couple weeks with the schedule they have. Like this is where you like see a great team to a good team. They're able to take that next step if they have that next guy with Larkin. I'm really interested to see who they bring in and who they start. Gentry said he thinks that they're gonna look at kind of a winger to bring in with Larkin in that center spot. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what they do and what I still trust in the eyes are playing. I'm all in on that.
Yeah, No, I don't think that's true. Somebody said Bert to Toronto. Is that true? I don't think that's true.
As we speak.
I don't see it from a reputable source yet. When it comes, I'm gonna look into that more obviously when it comes, but I don't think so. That's not true yet. We'll see what goes on, but as of right now, no, these are all. I can't trust any of these sources that are putting it out right now.
Yeah, I don't see anything here that shows that he's been traded.
I see a bunch of people saying
all day that there's been conversations whether or not. So I'll keep my phone on, a little booner bomb here if he does get traded.
Yeah, I see a lot of people saying them, but none of them are sources that I could trust. So I'm not going to speak on it until I see someone from, a Red Wings beat writer or someone from the Red Wings organization.
Yep, I agree. That would be crazy, though, talking about it.
That would be pretty wild.
As we talk about it.
But we'll be back shortly. This is wild. I'm going to have to see that people got Twitter notifications. Yeah, I've seen a couple posts on Twitter, but like I said, none of them are from a real reputable source. But let me tell you guys about Swiss Insurance, because be sure to check in Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Swiss can help make sure you have proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give them a shot and you won't be disappointed. Make sure you hit them up at mark@swissinsurance.com to get all the coverage you need.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Jumpin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Jumpin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes, you'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Jumpin' Puck, Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Lukas Klotz. We have JB on the ones and twos, Chris Platty in the TV booth, and
I'm here, I guess,
in the Maz chair. So I have not seen, like I said, I will update it if I hear anything, but I have not seen any reputable source make any comments about a Tyler Bertuzzi trade. So I'm not going to speculate on anything yet. We'll see, though, because I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, but nothing just yet. But now let's move on to the Pistons, because James Wiseman is here. He's officially a Detroit Piston, and James Edwards III had some comments with him at practice today. Chris, can you play that video for us?
Yeah.
I guess, are you able to put into words the emotions of the last few days for you?
Man, last few days been crazy for me. Just getting off the plane, just doing my physical and stuff. Man, it was a lot, and then having the trade situation, stuff like that. But I just really just stayed present, just trying to take it one day at a time, and just embracing everything. So, yeah.
Were you pretty confident that you would stay here when all that stuff was going on, just in talking to Troy and everybody?
Yes, sir, I was super confident. I'm just embracing all the opportunities here. Just a new start for me, so I'm just embracing everything.
So that was James Edwards III talking to James Wiseman at Pistons practice. Today you heard him talking about being excited for the opportunities that he presented. And that was one thing that the Warriors said when they got rid of James Wiseman. Steve Kerr said they didn't really have the runway for James Wiseman to become, what he wanted to be, to become a star. And what do you think about this? I haven't talked to you guys. What do you think about the trade in general and James Wiseman's fit on the Pistons?
At first, I wasn't overly excited just because I think most Pistons fans at least like Saddiq Bey and what he can bring to the game. But we can all, I think, agree that Saddiq Bey was the last thing from a consistent scorer. And he had great scoring potential, but from bringing it to a night-to-night basis, I don't think he possessed that. So why are we upset that we took an inconsistent player who brought a lot of good things, but he was no doubt not going to be one of the players that takes us to that next step? I think James Wiseman, you give him a year or two, he can absolutely turn into that next player that can help you, especially with Boston. You have Brooklyn in there who's got a big lineup when they need to, and they got a lot of young talent. You have Miami who has a skilled big. Detroit needs a skilled big man to keep up with the rest of the NBA. Yes, it's not what the NBA is founded on right now, but it is 100% a need, and they got a need.
Yeah. Booner, how do you feel about this?
I was kind of in the same as Lucas, and I think when it first happened, I was just reaching out to people, and me and Jeff were going back and forth. I wanted to see more, us get more back, whether it was picks or whatever we were getting. But now that I look back at it, with Saddiq Bey, he was on a decline. So they kind of got what they could for him at the time before it kind of completely fell off. They got what they could, and they kind of took advantage of it, which I kind of like, because what's the one thing we all talk about with this upcoming draft? The guards, the wings, it's a positionless basketball league right now. So the fact that they said, hey, Saddiq Bey's on a decline, we're going to have a top 5 pick probably guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
We're going to probably have to go get a guard outside of Victor at 1. Why not get rid of Saddiq Bey, bring in a guy that was a number 2 overall pick? He still has the potential. He just was on a championship team who already had guys set in stone. He just didn't have the opportunity. He has a higher ceiling than Saddiq Bey. I think they said, hey, we're going to have to find a guy, whose ceiling's higher, Saddiq Bey or James Wiseman. Wiseman's right now, as we all know, is way higher. And you take that shot, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You're probably going to draft a wing or a guard anyways this draft, and you have that guy to replace Saddiq Bey. He probably was never in the future of the Detroit Pistons rotation if we're looking at competing for a championship.
Yeah.
So I think they made the right move.
And I mean, God, what was I just about to say? Oh, okay. So you look at, if you look at the Pistons' active starting 5 next year, you'd have Cade Cunningham, you'd have Jaden Ivey, and you'd have James Wiseman. I think Duran at that time will be starting. So if you take that, look how much potential is in those first-round picks compared to, I know Saddiq was a first-round pick, but he wasn't overwhelming talent. James Wiseman, he was the number 2 pick in the draft. He balled out in college. We see what he has been able to do, even when he played for the Warriors. He wasn't on a lot of minutes, but he was very productive. So now we just give him time. I think this is one of those moves. I don't think he's going to turn into a consistent all-star, but this is one of those moves that can definitely turn a franchise around.
Yeah, I agree. Chris, how do you feel about the comments that he made at practice, and what Steve Kerr said about him about the runway.
Yeah, I liked what Steve Kerr said about, that shows that, hey, they acknowledge that there's something there, right? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to give him the opportunity he needed to shine, and he's going to get that tenfold here in Detroit. Like I said, he's going to be given all the opportunity in the world to make himself a fit. And I like the point that Lukas made about the bigs in the Eastern Conference, because you do have to maybe theoretically one day go through Embiid, go through Giannis in back-to-back rounds, go through then Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Mm-hmm. Like, the East has a lot of size to it. And again, if Wiseman is a skilled big, I know everybody talks about his athleticism and his smoothness first, but they have praised his skill as well. So if he flashes that skill along with what Duren has, and that can actually mesh together, then you're looking at a front line that can really, really do damage in the Eastern Conference. And it's a conference that, like I said, has a lot of front court talent.
And it's very open too. I mean, the West is probably as stacked as we've seen, at least in my lifetime, just from a top to bottom standpoint. They've had those super teams, but not this many. So the East, you give it next year, you got Boston, you got Philly, but I don't think there's Milwaukee, obviously, duh. But there's not a clear next man. I think Detroit, with all the potential they have, they could very easily beat them. Yeah.
And what do you think about them starting together? Because that's something that they're going to do. Is start James Wiseman and Jalen Duren on the floor at the same time.
I love it because I think Duren gives you that presence that you'd expect out of a player of the size of Wiseman, and I think you can they're very opposite in the way they play, but I think it can contribute very well just because they're not the same at all. But at the end of the day, you're going to get the same impact just from not really the position you'd expect.
Yeah. What do you think, Booner?
That'll be interesting. It depends, I guess, on how Jalen Duren develops. I know he's been working on kind of that mid-range, that shot a little bit. So I guess it depends on how he develops. It's crazy to think, too, right after that trade happened, Jalen Duren went out there and got 30 and 17. Yeah. That man came out and he was like, no, I'm the guy. I'm the future here. And it makes you really question, all right, who's going to be at that 4 spot? Can they do that? Are one of these guys going to have to come off the bench? I don't know. And it's crazy, too, because we're going to have a new head coach probably next year. And they're going to have to, whoever that is going to have to deal with that and kind of work with that. So there's a lot of questions in the air. It's kind of exciting questions, though. More optimism than before.
Chris, I know we talked about it a little bit, but now that it's legitimately happening and James Wiseman's in Detroit and he's looking like he's going to start in their next game, do you think that tandem can work in the front court starting together?
I think it can if you have patience, because the simple answer is that, of course, these two never played together, so they need time. But yes, ignoring that fact, just looking at their skill sets, they're both young players that are developing and trying to find their way. And so one of them has to become a good perimeter or interior defender. And I mean Wiseman, actually, to be specific, because Jalen Duren has already shown great flashes in both of those areas. Yeah. But for Wiseman to be able to play with Duren, he needs to be able to either A, be out on the perimeter, or B, be in the paint and let Duren be out on the perimeter. That way you can actually have a solid defensive unit. So I think there's some potential there. Both have shown some sneaky good passing ability. Both have shown some sort of a mid-range touch. So it's not perfect fit, and there is a little bit of PTSD from the Greg Monroe, Andre Drummond days, and then you just log jam Josh Smith in there and go, fuck it. Let's just triple
everybody in the paint.
Let's just triple down on this.
No floor spacing.
No floor spacing whatsoever. So there is a little bit of that PTSD in me as a Piston fan, but looking at this going forward, I do think that they are two very skilled bigs, and they both obviously have the mobility to be on the perimeter or to be inside, and that's the very first and probably biggest roadblock into making this work. But you got to give them time and see what they develop into.
For sure. And as of right now, obviously, I don't have the starting lineup in front of me, but if you run a starting lineup right now, obviously with Kate Cunningham down, of Jaden Ivey, Alec Burks, Bojan, James Wiseman, and JD like that could work. There could be some floor spacing there. You have Jaden Ivey run the point. Obviously, you've got the two shooters out there, and Burks and Boyan, and Wiseman has shown an ability to hit threes, to knock some three down. Like his rookie year, he was 11.5, 6.5 rebounds and a block a game. So it's not like the guy is just complete trash.
Yeah.
So I expect him to do something.
He has potential, and in that lineup too. For next year, that's not even counting your top 5 pick or top whatever it is.
And
7.
Kate Cunningham.
And Kate, they are as bad as it seems right now. They are building something good for the future. As much as it sucks.
Before we go to break, I just do want to talk about this since we're talking about basketball. My boy Melo getting picked up by the Suns.
Wait,
about to
really?
get a ring.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That happened?
I saw it yesterday.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, there's
Carmelo Anthony?
Carmelo Anthony was talked about getting picked up by the Suns.
Talked about, or it's official?
I saw it that it was legit.
I hope so.
They got Terrence Ross.
I just want Carmelo to have
Ross
a ring.
is a 2K demon.
Terrence Ross is a 2K
An absolute
2K
bucket.
demon.
The Raptors and the Magic, bro.
Man.
So was Jonathan Simmons. Remember Jonathan Simmons?
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Spurs.
Jonathan Simmons with the Spurs?
Yeah. He was
you always get him in GMO for the free.
Everybody's talking about it. I haven't seen anything.
So
officially.
Chris Paul wants them to sign Carmelo Anthony. Nothing has been said just yet. But
they're going to sign him.
I think when you have a move like that where there's... I mean, you got the Suns who are obviously interested with Chris Paul, and there's nothing that Melo would rather be doing. I don't think they'd be joining the...
But what would be a weirder ring? The T-Mac Spurs ring if he would have got that, or the Melo Suns ring? They're both so weird.
You see LaMarcus Aldridge is working out for the Mavericks?
I did see that.
It'd be like the Melvin Gordon ring this year for the Chiefs, bro. I had no clue he was on the Chiefs until that signed.
Melo can still come off the bench and get some buckets.
Oh, Melo.
This is a weird time of the year for the NBA where it's like all of these guys that are getting bought out or were sitting at home, they start getting signed to these contending teams.
Suns got Terrence Ross, huh?
Yeah.
Suns got Terrence Ross.
If they get Carmelo, that bench is...
Yeah.
Who do you think's coming second in the West? I still like the Dubs.
Denver
No.
easy.
Dallas
Denver,
Mavericks.
I still don't rule out Denver
I like
beating.
Dallas.
I still don't rule out Denver beating the Suns this year.
You think they could?
I think they absolutely can because of one reason only, continuity. It's very hard to... I get it. Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant.
I think, Kevin Durant will have better continuity with Chris Paul and Booker and Kyrie and Luka.
But Jokic has been running with these guys for years.
Oh, you said Denver. I'm sorry.
Yes.
We do quickly forget, though, Luka Doncic took that Mavs team to the Western Conference Finals last year.
True.
Basically on his own.
100%.
They have almost the same team outside of...
Rip Jalen Brunson.
And he ain't doing it again.
Rip Jalen Brunson, but he has Kyrie Irving, who's better than Jalen Brunson.
Speaking of Rip, happy birthday to
Shout
Rip
out.
Hamilton, the Detroit legend.
Yes,
the man, the myth, the legend, the mask. Love to watch your Rip play.
Favorite basketball player ever.
Yeah, that's
favorite player of all time.
I was gonna say, Booner said that too in the back. I was more of a Sheed guy, I'm a big Sheed guy, but appreciate Rip and everything he did. Happy birthday to the legend. Hold that. Love Rip.
Hold that.
Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's, because you can come into Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's is open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime, no appointment necessary, because at Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper,
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the last segment of the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. I am Spencer Axter. Thank you for joining me on the desk today, Lucas. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for being in the Maz chair, Booner, and
pleasure.
Putting up with all the wildness that went down on today's show, from Lucas choking on something to the F1, Harry One, Ditch One segment to the Would You Rathers. Yeah. We have Chris Platty in the TD booth and JB Smooth on the ones and twos. Before we get out of here, another Valentine's Day special. You get to pick one all-time future, or not future, obviously, past or present Detroit athlete to be your Valentine. Who are you picking?
Matt Prater.
Matt Prater?
Matt Prater. He comes in clutch. He's always there when you need him.
And always hammered?
Yeah, that's what I say. He knows how to party. He's got a track record of that, so you can have a good time with him. And listen, he was a sweetheart of mine when he was on the Lions. I think he bailed Matt Stafford out a lot in those game-winning drives. You're going to get a lot of game-winning drives when you get over the 50 and you're automatically in field goal range.
Got to get there, though.
Yeah.
You got Calvin Johnson. It's not that hard.
All right, Booner, who's your Valentine?
Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce. Like, what are we doing?
That's true.
I could go through every player.
Yeah.
So,
my Detroit athlete Valentine, I'm going throwback. I'm going Matthew Stafford. If we're talking about having a good time with, I know we all saw the pictures of him at Georgia. He had a good time. I'll let you know that. He also has, in his whole career, he's made what, $400 million. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at a little bit of money there. I mean, I'm not about the money, but it speaks a little bit. So, and Matthew Stafford, he was the heart of Detroit for so long. So I'm going Matthew Stafford for sure.
I like it. JB, who is your Detroit sports Valentine?
I'll stick with the Lions here. I'm going Calvin Johnson.
Okay.
Mainly because Megatron, he's been here for a while, and I'm a fan of his weed company that he has too. So
I like it.
There you go.
I like it. Chris?
Dog, y'all are stupid. It's Rasheed Wallace, and it's not even close. Like, Rasheed is the definition of a fun guy. Like, he still hangs out with everybody all-star weekend. Like, he picks up Brandon Jennings and goes to a hole-in-the-wall bar. There was that story when Brandon Jennings was in Detroit. Rasheed is a good time. It was going to be Rip, but then you guys started thinking about, who's fun to party with, and Rip, I remembered, ran 5 miles in the morning. I'm like, nah. Rip, you my guy, but I can't.
Gabby, you want to answer this one too?
Yeah.
No?
I didn't hear the question.
Detroit sports Valentine, past or present, who would you choose?
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
You got it, yeah.
Any player.
I'm going to go. I'll come back here. I'm
All
going to go with Woodward Sports own Mr. Darren McCarty.
Oh, wow.
Love that.
That's a good one.
That's a great
That's a good one. I like that. And I'm gonna go Gabby on this one as a Detroit Red Wing. My favorite player to watch of all time. One of the most talented players in the history of Detroit sports. Pavel Datsyuk is my Detroit sports Valentine. The Magic Man. He's a legend. I just loved watching him play. He's, like I said, one of my favorite players of all time, and in any sport. So I'm going to go with Pavel Datsyuk.
Great choice.
Thank you.
Great choice.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, can I change my answer?
Okay. What's your answer?
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. That man knows how to party. Yeah, there you go. You'll be in Vegas every week. But before we do get out of here, I just want to touch on it again. I want to extend my condolences and my prayers and thoughts to the families, the students, the Spartan community, everyone that was affected by what happened in East Lansing last night. It was a tragic, horrific series of events. As a Spartan alumni, I'm there for you. All of Spartan Nation is there for you. If you need someone to talk to, reach out to anyone. There's a great support system in place at Michigan State that if you don't know how to deal with what happened last night, there are people you could talk to, whether it be a friend, a coworker, a roommate, a faculty member. There are plenty of people you can reach out to from the senseless killings that happened last night in East Lansing. Prayers to the families of the loved ones lost, and it's going to take time to recover, but Spartan Nation will be with you every step of the way. So go green, go white. Appreciate you for watching the Heavyweights. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.